This week on Monster House, our builders boldly go where no home has gone before as they try to turn this everyday edifice into a fantasy of the future.
Warning, the monster is near.
Space baby. Space baby.
This fearless family has agreed to hand over their keys to the cosmonaut of construction, Steve Watson.
Monster House, baby.
He and his crew will have to fire up the afterburners, turn on the time warp, and make it to the future in just 5 days.
Strap on the jetpack, fire up the flux capacitor. It's the Retro Future Monster House.
Our house was plain and simple. It was safe and normal. It was nice and sweet, but we all agreed we could use a change. And then something happened that was very strange, 'cause a van showed up, all our stuff went flying, and my mom was crying till the job was done. Now it's a monster house. It's a monster house. It's a monster house, and we all just love it. It's a monster house.
What homeowner is brave enough to climb aboard this remodeling rocket? Meet the Lees.
I'm Andy.
I'm Megan. I'm Molly. This is Kansas, and we all live here together.
If I had to describe our family, I think the best way to describe it would be like the Brady Bunch on acid.
My sister and I have matching tattoos. Ta-da!
Technically, I have two, because I have one that starts here and ends in my back, and then this one that's not quite connected yet.
I just have two.
We picked a retro future house. We wanted that because we thought the Jetsons were really cool. We like all the things that they have in the future.
Our house has lots of different stuff going on, so I think we're pretty open with anything.
Sci-Fi Steve is more than happy to oblige. The catch? All design and construction decisions are in his hands. All they'll know is what they can see from the Coachman fifth wheel parked out front. Steve convenes a council of his visionaries at the Monster House Command Center. Designer Oscar Albuerne, decorator Jerry Schwartz, and sci-fi film director Chris Lamont.
We got Andy, we got Megan. They have this great kid, this baby. His name's Kansas, one of the greatest kids ever. And we got Molly. These guys are huge fans of the show. They're just this crazy, hip, young family. Tattoos, and they literally said to me, and for the first time I believe them, I don't care what you do to this house.
Awesome.
You can do anything you want.
So what are we doing to it?
Well, they were talking about some kind of a future house, you know, but I'm thinking if you're gonna do that, it'd be a lot cooler if you can go back in time and do the future house from like the 50s or the 60s, some kind of like a retro future house.
I mean, even in like the Jetsons TV show, it was always like, everything came to you. You'd sit down, suddenly things are flying all off the walls coming to you. You'd sit down, your clothes are suddenly there. There's your remote control. I mean, how do you do stuff like that?
Yeah. So what can we? What are your ideas on it?
I mean, we go to Home Depot all the time. And
Yeah.
You see those vacuum tubes they have that take all the receipts, all the money going through there. So we can have a station in the kitchen that had these vacuum tubes that went throughout the house. It went to the living room, it went to the front door for the mail.
Okay, let me say this one thing. It would be the greatest moment of my life if I could send a bottled beer from the kitchen to the living room in less than 2 seconds. The tubes are definitely in.
Oscar, what are you gonna do with this fireplace?
I think it gives us a real good opportunity to do something kind of large, kind of metropolis. So we could do these, series of half rounds that open up.
Ew.
And that would cover up the fireplace, because right now it's just a brick fireplace. And then what about the rest of the space? What can we do?
This is the bridge. I mean, let's pull a page from Captain Kirk. This is where your chair goes, and this is where the big screen TV needs to be.
I love that. So, and then everything closes up, you walk in, you have this big, huge metal structure, and you wonder what the hell it is. Well, that's my remote control fireplace and our plasma screen. That's basically your hearth/entertainment center.
The decor I'm kind of picturing is really utilitarian, clean lines, still comfortable.
Okay.
I was thinking silver, black, and I wanted to kind of throw like some kind of pop of color, something chartreuse or green.
I think so. I love the chartreuse influence on
and it'll be a really nice contrast to the other colors.
Because, in the 50s and 60s, all those movies are in black and white, so it's like, what color are they?
So we have this space right here that's basically being neglected, so we have to do something because there's no wall.
Do you think the guys can build like some kind of pony wall to make it like the control center, like a desk, and I get a funked out chair? Love
So that would be like the nerve center, like the control center for the whole house. You gotta have one of those like those video conferencing things, you
Like
know.
a video phone?
Yeah, whenever, you know,
That's
because everywhere where you can, it just takes it to that next, like, obnoxious level where you can talk to your friend in the kitchen and actually see their face. You know, just because.
I wish there was some sort of like flying saucer element we could put in. You know, like in War of the Worlds, 50s, 60s movies had all that great flying saucer, you know, elements. But I mean, how do you get a flying saucer into this house?
Well, it's got a great space right here in the foyer as you enter it. You know, it's a 2-story staircase going up, so you got this great wall up high. As we're talking about a saucer, you know?
Yeah.
And have it crash right into the corner there, you know?
Yeah, we can get some, you know, somebody that's good with metal. We can weld that thing together.
You can have the front of it popping out in the ceiling of the living room.
Here's the plan. The entryway will have a spaceship crash through the wall that also breaks through the living room ceiling. The fireplace will get remote-controlled doors that open to a gas fire and a plasma screen TV. A control center desk will be built out of steel and aluminum. An air transfer system will be installed with tubes running through the house. And finally, out front, a retro future video intercom.
There's no wood in this one. This should be interesting. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
But it's one thing to envision the future, it's another thing to build it. It's a Monday morning delivery from space, and this week's Monster Crew has landed. Gadget, our Grand Master of Gizmos. Bruce Gray, renowned metal sculptor. Sean MacArthur, air tube system specialist. Joe Pollock, licensed general contractor. Bon Jackson, jack of all trades. The challenge, complete the entire build by midnight Friday. The prize, they'll each get a tool package from Makita and Aesop worth over $3,000. All that's missing is our Master of the Monster Universe. It's Commander Watson, just in time to take over a little piece of the planet.
Yeah, how's it going? All right, you ready? I'm gonna need to take the keys.
The homeowners head off to the RV as the builders burst inside.
Hey guys, we're working in this room right here. Now it's a retro futuristic house, so we gotta have a flying saucer, but we're gonna crash it into this wall. The fireplace. What we wanna do is give it a space age feel, reveal the fireplace. Okay, guys, right here. This is gonna be their nerve center of their house, computers and everything else. Basically, their home office. Air tube transfer system, just like at the bank. These things need to travel all through the house and be exposed. It's gonna take all 5 builders and myself to get this thing done. I say we just get to work.
We'll get it done.
Okay, you ready? Let's do this thing.
Before getting started on the future, they first need to clear out the present.
I don't think they emptied the drawers in this one.
Sean is our air tube expert. He's come prepared with a truckload of parts from air tube transfer systems.
Yeah, this is the systems that we'll be using. It's all the stuff we're gonna need.
The air tubes work using a vacuum to pull and air pressure to push the carriers. The system will be powered by a 2-stage pass-through blower located in the kitchen.
This is where all the tubes originate. Motors will be installed down here, but somehow we got to get those tubes from this side out into the rest of the house. Looks like this is the direction we're going.
Joe, our contractor, will cut out a large access window between the kitchen and the dining room.
There you go. Thank you.
You got it, bud.
Cool.
Out front, a shipment of wood and metal arrives. Bond, our jack of all trades, takes on building the futuristic fireplace.
I'm a bit of a MacGyver. I'm gonna build a pedestal that comes out right here. It's just gonna be framed up with lumber. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna encase it in sheet metal.
His first challenge is figuring a way to make the curved-shaped pedestal out of wood.
Or?
Yeah.
You know what woodwork is if you kind of get a general idea here, you can just cut a big long strip of plywood, put a nail in one end, stick a pencil on the other.
What I'm gonna do is get a radius. I'm gonna get a radius. Once I figure out the radius, then what I'll do is I just go out there, I mark it on the ply, cut the plywood with a jigsaw.
Steve wonders if wood is even the right way to go.
Then when we get our square tubing and the bender, we can go ahead and just bend our arch, and then we can put that down and we can see exactly what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, but the whole option is that I want to get it done.
Okay.
So I'm getting in here, I'm measuring up right now.
Hey man, I'm all
I'm
for
gonna
it.
get out there, start cutting. This is gonna get framed, and that's getting framed tonight.
Sounds good to me.
Eager Beaver Bond cuts a base plate out of plywood, but the shape isn't quite what the design calls for.
Instead of being the half moon, it was more of a... That was more of the shape. So, instead of having that shape, we decided just, I want it to be more like this. We're just gonna tweak it, move it around, make it work.
So Bond takes another stab at cutting out curves. Out front, Gadget and Bruce put together a materials list for the metal and other parts they'll need to make the fireplace, control center, and spaceship.
Gadget's our metal man. He's a fabricator. He does this kind of stuff. He's perfect for this project.
I got the nickname Gadget because, well, if you look at my studio, I make my own tools. I have these wacky vehicles that I've made. I have a BMW sitting on a Ford chassis in there. It's all four-wheel drive. Whatever it is, clients will come to me with something that they've always wanted to have and no one's been able to figure it out. I'm the guy who makes it work and makes it dependable.
But this monster will be a challenge even for him. There's a massive amount of work to get done, and the metal won't be here until tomorrow. By mid-afternoon, Bond's Get It Done Today fireplace frame isn't even started. So Steve decides it's time to put the plan on a new course.
Here, obviously, I don't think any of us thinks that this is what it should look like.
We've changed from going from wood, so we're gonna do it with this and metal.
But I think it's just a matter of making it. We haven't really changed anything. I think we're just making it easier. It seems like it'll be a lot easier, and a lot faster, and a lot more feasible. Just do it with metal. Rolling that tube steel out is no time at all.
Right.
Look what we're looking for.
Yeah, it's kind of just nick the corner
Yeah,
here.
this thing's gonna come like this. It'll go right in front of the corner, right around there. Come up, come up, and then right over there. So let's just roll it.
Out in the fifth wheel, Andy has decided to make a homeowner version of Monster House.
Okay, it's drawing towards the end of day one. How do you feel everything's gone thus far? And could you incorporate that into the answer, please?
Well, it's the end of day one, and so far, I think it's going pretty well. We got all the water cleaned up out of the living room. The fire was really minor and hardly burned anything at all. The guy who had a seizure is fine. We think he's just relaxed now. He looked like he was sleeping or something on the kitchen floor, so we're just gonna let him rest up.
All right, guys, end of day one. Sitting down, taking a little break. Congratulations. How do you feel everything went?
Pretty good for day one.
Besides the seizure and the fire,
Yeah.
we're okay.
That could be rough.
Now that Bond's off the fireplace project, he decides to help out veteran contractor Joe with his framing.
You're still here to support your header.
Exactly.
Right. You taking out this block that's right below the duct?
No, what I'm gonna try to do is double up on that.
Okay, well, it's only a block between the studs. We're opening up.
Okay, well then we'll probably remove that piece.
Yeah.
We'll take the Sawzall, cut the nails in there, drop that piece out, and stick in a whole new header across there.
Okay. All right. Are you going to work on this?
No, I'm gonna just continue to work on this. So
Okay.
all you need to do is pull.
I got this covered.
Right, just cut this piece of drywall out. Take the Sawzall, cut this stud.
I got it covered.
All right, sir.
Yeah, we were right in the middle of it, man. We had it going
All right,
on.
buddy.
Okay.
Bond's a interesting character. He's gung-ho. The guy's got a lot of energy, and he's almost too gung-ho. Just likes to jump in there and get it done without any prep. And he's all over the place. He's in the middle of every single project.
Outside, the family is settling in to their home away from home.
Okay, so this is the first dinner in the RV. A little chilly. I have to say, I'm a pretty damn good cook.
I see. This is already eating.
Candace is already eating. He's the head of the game. He couldn't wait.
Go.
Everyone's getting ready to watch Monster House. It's Monday night. They've ran cable out. They've ran cable out to the RV for us just for this occasion.
Our house was plain and simple. It was safe and normal.
It's one day down, and the future seems farther away than ever.
The first day of our build, and we have a hole in the wall. That's all we have so far. All the furniture's moved out, we have a hole in the wall. And that's it. There they are. There they are.
How's our house?
It's in a mess right now.
Fires.
Just know that if anything catches on fire, we'll do our best to put it out. That's the main thing.
He's a little concerned about what's going on. Yeah.
You know, I could give him a tour.
Okay.
I could give him a tour and show him what's going on in the house.
But then he would just tell us everything.
Well, yeah, but it would sound...
Will we understand it?
Yeah, that's the thing.
question.
Let's go check it out. Yeah, somebody wants to go check it out. There you go.
Bye.
Let's go.
Bye. Bye, Kansas.
Yeah. We've never done this before. We're kind of breaking the rules. We've never allowed a homeowner to walk into the house during the build week. But with Kansas here, we're gonna make an exception because I value his opinion. You know, if he says it's okay, then it's okay, all right? So here's what we're doing in the living room. See, we're gonna put a spaceship that's gonna crash into the ceiling and crash right there. And this is gonna be this crazy, okay, there you go. This crazy fireplace is gonna open up and show this brand new television for you. That's right, yeah, see? He's loving it. He's loving it, yes.
Sweet.
I got a little slob, which was a good sign.
Good, that is a good sign.
That's a good sign.
So Kansas took his tour of the house with Steve, and we're really trying to coax him out of his shell, but he just won't do it. He's smiling because he has a secret that he won't tell us.
A flatbed full of metal arrives.
Industrial Metal Supply Company with our metal delivery so we can start framing out some of this stuff that we need to work on in there, like the fireplace. And that's gonna make a huge difference for us.
Yeah, we can go wild now. We got everything we need.
We got heavy metal all day long, and we're your DJs.
Joe and Bond use a snake track to lay out the curve for the control center desk. They take the template out to Gadget. He's now got to bend pieces of 1-inch steel square tubing in the exact shape of the frame. To pull this off, he's brought a special roller that he built himself.
Came about when I couldn't find anything that available that I could use for what I wanted to do, so it's part of why I have my nickname is if I can't find it, I make it.
But Gadget's homemade roller has no settings. To create the S-shaped curves, all he relies on is a good eye and years of experience.
It's all right here.
Inside, the base station for the air tubes is almost done.
Getting my valves all set up, my station's all set up. Get ready to start running some pipe today.
By late morning, Gadget is welding his S-curves into a frame for the control center. Once he's done with the frame, he turns over the project to artist Bruce.
Bruce is he's a metal artist. He does great work. I've seen some pictures of the things that he's done, and it's beautiful stuff.
So for the rest of Tuesday, I think I'm going to be doing a lot of the metal work on this piece right here. Probably plasma cutting out the top, finishing off the edges, and then putting on the side panels, welding that all on, getting that nice and seamless, maybe putting a nice finished surface on the top.
Bruce dons his safety helmet and gets to work.
I can neither confirm nor deny my existence from another planet.
Gadget moves on to the job that didn't get done yesterday, making a curved frame for the fireplace.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Yesterday, Bond struggled to make it out of wood. Today, Gadget's keen eye and homemade metal bender whip it out on the first try.
I'm against the wall.
And Bond is happy to be his assistant.
Got a cool way of looking at things that he can just kind of, you know, some of us go by logic, and some of us go by this other way of doing things.
By early afternoon, they have the pedestal frame bent, cut, and welded together.
We're doing really well. We've got some frames up. I think we're actually going to start cladding some metal tonight, getting a feel for rivets and putting that together.
Inside, Sean and Joe are approaching warp speed on the air tubes.
Thanks. Yep.
By 4 o'clock, they're ready to put the system to its first test.
Normally this would go into a control box and I have a switch up here that turns it on and off. I'm basically just plugging this, hardwiring it right into, or not hardwiring, but just plugging it into the outlet, which is gonna send this carrier out to the mailbox outside. So here we go, we're gonna send the carrier. There goes the carrier.
Let me see this thing. I think it's crazy, man, but I love it.
You don't see that every day.
The only one who doesn't seem to be making much progress is Bruce.
I am a perfectionist. I have some pieces that have taken, 6 months or more to make.
It's been 6 hours, and he's barely gotten started on the desktop.
He's got kind of more of an artistic attitude about things, which is great. But unfortunately, it doesn't produce sometimes at the speed we'd like to see it.
Bruce is an artist, and he works at an artist pace. The rest of us are teaming up and, working at that sort of harried construction pace.
Monster House.
Monster House.
They've been here for a really long. It's 8:15. They're still here.
Dude, that's awesome. They actually know what they're doing.
Incredible.
The sun goes down, and Bruce is still struggling with the welds for his desktop.
I'm not too happy with myself right this very minute.
Inside, the rest of the team thinks it's time for an intervention.
So, you want to take over that? I'm willing. You want to be the heavy? I'll do the work if you want to be the heavy. You got it?
I think I'm getting the hang of it a bit, but...
What do you think about calling her tonight and letting him take that over? Doing the weld. And then we can get started on the rest of the metal tomorrow.
You guys want to leave now?
I'll stay long enough to burn that real quick so they can be going in the morning.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do while you're doing that, or?
Why don't you be my assistant on this while I burn it?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. You start going boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
The artist agrees to take a back seat and stays late to help Gadget get the job done. It's 7 a.m., and one of our builders seems to be having a bad hair day.
I'm feeling spunky this morning. So, I think we'll get a lot done today.
Last night, Gadget got Bruce's tabletop welded to the frame. Today, the job is back in Bruce's court. He's going to give the top a futuristic finish before attaching it to the base.
If you just kind of focus on one spot and just move just like this, you can see every single swirl will move. Just the slightest movement in every single pattern will change appearance. Some will just totally disappear, and then other new ones will appear.
You're definitely an artist. I mean, that's gonna look really, really good.
Inside, Gadget and Bond get back to their fireplace. They still need to build a complex 2-level support structure for the upper and lower sliding doors. They power through the morning, building and installing housings for the motors and tracks.
Warning. Monster shopper.
Jerry, our monster decorator, is on a cosmic shopping mission.
Definitely this.
Trying to find ways to launch this house into the future.
I've gotten some really neat plastics, light fixtures that kind of intertwine to make it almost looks like a puzzle that goes into a round sphere. Just really, really cool things, but I don't want to spoil it.
By early afternoon, Sean's air tube system is closing in on done.
He's been working on this tube system for over 2.5 days now, and it's all up. We've got the pattern for everything. He's got all that dialed in.
To make it even more monster, Sean has created a canister that can hold a beer bottle.
They came up with this idea. Just shoot this in, strap it in just like that. You gotta imagine that you're sitting here at your coffee table. Hey, honey, send me a beer.
Okay, dear.
Sweet. All right, you can take it. That is great. That is great. If you think I'm not putting that in my house, you're out of your mind.
Outside, Bruce has spent over 6 hours grinding away on his high-tech tabletop, but it still needs to be welded to the frame and the sides skinned with sheet metal. This project is now a full day behind.
I think there's a lot of mental motivation here. I don't think people are just getting in the mix physically. There's too much standing around.
As a team, we know where the problem is, and at some point we need to address it. I think we're at the point in the job where I'm going to need to tell Bruce that it's time to play a support role. He definitely doesn't work at our speed, nor do I think he's capable of it.
He works at our artist's speed.
Yeah.
We ain't got time for art.
You need to be prepared to sit on the bench. Okay. Or be support, like, you know, clean up our tools, keep them nice and neat. Okay.
Once again, Bruce is politely asked to sit on the sidelines.
Well, Gadget told me that they kind of, you know, felt that, you know, I was a little bit behind on things. I'm upset with myself a little bit. I'm not upset with anybody else. I mean, like I said, I think we got a great team, and I'm really happy to be working with them. It's just that, you know, I have never been a slacker in my life, and I don't want to start being one now. You know, so I'm here to do whatever they want me to do.
Bruce grabs a broom, and the rest of the team swarms on the control center. By 8:30, Sean is ready to test his final air tube.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For the cold one. Now I'm gonna send it back to you.
Ready?
Yep. That is so sweet. I swear to God, I want to hug you for that. All right, 2 days and just under 3 hours left, and it's hard to figure out what's going on with this build team. It's just peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. 1 minute you think they're behind, next minute we're way ahead. Next minute you think we're behind, next minute you say that all the tubes are done.
Focusing on the control center has taken the team's attention away from the fireplace. Gadget wants to stay late to get back on track.
Well, I was kind of joking with the family, and they said I could stay here if I wanted to, so I'm just gonna stay. I'm gonna work until I drop.
Bruce's demotion hasn't dampened his team spirit one bit.
You know, I'll be the last one to leave, and I'll be the first one here in the morning.
We're stuck inside this trailer while a monster people rip our house to shreds. And we're all afraid that they'll never finish, and our baby's crying and he wet the bed. It's a trailer house, not a retro house, not a future house. And we all can't stand it, it's a trailer house.
Today is, it's Wednesday, right? Thursday.
Right now, I think all the guys are tired. They worked late last night, which is one of those things. It's good and it's bad.
I spent the night here.
And you can tell that they're all beat.
Must build spaceship.
The fireplace is in a holding pattern, so the team turns to another major project. The 2 spaceship sections will need to be fabricated from scratch. Gadget starts on the larger section, which will hang from the entryway wall.
The design of the spaceship is based on a mind meld that I did earlier with Sean.
With his air tube project complete, Sean lends a hand cutting sheet metal.
I just enjoy helping out and getting this project done and everything. So wherever it's needed, I'll be there.
Today, Bruce continues to be team support guy.
Came in this morning, and last night it was kind of realized that Bruce is sort of taking a supportive role in the build team, which in my eyes makes him the superstar because everything's organized. I've never come in and seen all the tools in a nice little stack like this, organized and cleaned up.
He is a good guy, and you know, he understands his limitations, and he definitely is a key part of the group.
Joe is wiring power for the fireplace's remote control doors.
Our conduits are all in place.
Let's say in about an hour, we'll start pulling some cable and be done with it.
Bond has taken on the job of assembling the door's remote control electronics.
This is the fun stuff. This is playing with all the gadgets and gadgets.
Bond's eager, but I'm not sure that he really has the knowledge to pull some of this stuff off, so it kind of concerns me a little bit.
Right now, I'm kind of figuring out a wiring diagram, basically a wiring schematic or a wiring diagram, and figuring out the components and how they're going to interact with one another so that we can get the operation that we want.
Just before lunch, Gadget calls all hands on deck to tackle skinning the spaceship.
Focusing on a project like this in a swarm, you can see it's going together very quickly. The swarm approach really works.
After 3 hours of struggling to get the remotes to work, Bond decides to try another approach.
It's Christmas time.
Scavenging a fully assembled remote control unit from a garage door opener.
This is what's actually going to operate our doors on our fireplace. It was my decision that if it was good enough for a garage, it was good enough for a spaceship. We decided that we're going to go with garage door openers. We're going to circumvent their motors. We're going to put in our own worm drive motors because they run much quieter and they don't jitter and jat.
Are you absolutely sure that'll work? Are
Absolutely.
you 100% sure?
100%.
So you're taking responsibility for these things moving?
Absolutely. It will work.
Good.
It will work the first time.
It's not the way I would do it. I would do it the way that I normally do it. Tried and true. I don't like cannibalizing other stuff.
Have you put one of the other motors on there yet to make sure that works?
No, but I've already checked the wiring. It's exactly the same.
Why don't we go ahead and test the other one just to make sure that it'll make that thing turn over?
Okay, we can do that.
Whoa.
Bond can't get it to work the first time, or the second, or the third.
He's the youngest man on our team, and I think he's got the biggest ego. So we'll see.
Warning, warning. Monster homeowners run amok.
On our way to Yoni Tattoo to get our tattooed for the Monster House.
I'm worried because it might kill my lifelong dream to be a Southwest flight attendant. That's a possibility.
Load up and trucking. We're gonna do what they say can't be done. What are you talking about?
It's all done. What do you think?
Woo! What do you think, Kansas?
I need this thing to work.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Actually, we all need this thing to work.
It will work the first time.
It's not gonna work. All right, I want to come back in just a little bit to see how's it going. I'm gonna let you mess with it for a little while.
All right, sir.
The thing ain't working.
You gotta let him make his decision and fail once. I feel that he's the kind of guy where if I just try and shoot him down, we'll lose him as a team member. So we try and just let him hang himself. And usually he's been doing it pretty quickly, so we can just move on.
Bond struggles for another hour before finally conceding defeat.
This is gonna work.
Yeah, that's
I'd have to sit there and resolder leads on the back of the board to bypass that part of the circuit.
He didn't want to lose space. And so, rather than just being gracious about it, just was kind of grasping at straws. I've got him helping Bruce get the fireplace thing done, because Bruce has got the edges cut, but he's going to need a little guidance fitting it and getting it in there. I hope, maybe he'll get a lesson from Bruce and humility on this.
The overworked Gadget adds the remote controls to his growing list of jobs.
I'll just do it the way I was going to do it in the first place. And I was wondering if you guys could send us a couple of remote operators and a 2-button remote for it.
And I think it's pretty clear that without Gadget, this team would be pretty much screwed.
I'm going to just disappear for a little while and get a facial. I'll be back. I think I need my nails done, too.
Gadget prepares for his second all-nighter.
So I'm just going to bounce back and forth between the spaceship and the fireplace until they're both ready.
The organic version.
10:30 on Thursday night, and The guys are still working hard to get the back part of our flying saucer in, and it looks really good, but the front part still has yet to be addressed, and Friday is coming real fast. We got 3 guys working on that. Fireplace. Still hasn't been framed out for the doors it's gonna open up to reveal the plasma screen. A day and an hour and a half left, and things aren't looking really good. I was hoping they'd catch another wind and start getting this thing out. We've all been working our butt off this evening, and it doesn't look like we're making a whole lot of progress right now. So right now, I have a lot of concern about it.
The entire team works late into the night.
Are we gonna have to turn spin at 9 to get it?
And at just after midnight, they're ready to launch the first half of their spaceship. With less than 24 hours left, the future still looks a long way off.
Monster Friday, my favorite day of the week.
Our bedraggled builders start their final day going over what's left to be done. The video intercom hasn't even been started. They still need to build the other section of the spaceship. And the remote control system that Bond gave up on yesterday still needs to get done.
I can't think of anything else.
Meanwhile, Gung-Ho Bond's got another brilliant idea. A nose cone light for the spaceship.
I think people are familiar with this particular product. I've seen these look awesome in the fog. I'm gonna let Steve get a look at this.
Cover it up. No way, dude.
It's even worse with the ball.
Yeah, no way. There's no way. That's
But when you frost this.
No, I don't even want to talk about it. All right. Here, it's wasted 20 minutes. Nope, not gonna do it. I see where you're going with it, but that's not what we're looking for.
Another half-baked Bond brainstorm goes nowhere.
Bond kind of came up with a kind of a low-rent solution to the problem and brought us one of these, about a $15 disco ball that you would see at any 7th grade dance. So we told him no. Another low-rent Kmart solution by our good engineer, Bond.
Warning, warning, homeowner cam, homeowner cam.
Trying to get everyone's Steve Watson impression this week if I can.
Oh, supercharged, really big. It's gotta be big. I don't care how you wanna do it, this is the way we're gonna do it. Supercharged. What's up? Turbocharged.
These guys better get this done by the deadline or else.
It's Thursday and stuff's happening, you know, and that's just the way it is at Monster House. That's just the way things go.
I'm drinking another gallon of water. I gotta drink about 15 gallons of water a day, otherwise my voice will turn into a pixie voice. And
And if I don't like it, I'm gonna tear it out. All right? 5 days in my house. If I don't like it, I'm gonna tear it out. It's gotta be Monster House.
that's because the family's gotta come back in 5 days. And if they can't come back, that means we fail. And I don't fail. And if you fail, again, I don't fail. So we can't fail.
By late morning, the remote controls that Gadget ordered last night arrive.
3B. Perfect. Great. Exactly.
He dives right in, connecting them to the motors for the fireplace doors.
Go ahead.
There's one direction.
I hope the homeowner doesn't have to do the old trick.
Down below, Steve installs a remote-controlled gas element for the fireplace.
Yeah, I'll be done here in about probably a couple hours.
This is the nose cone on our rocket.
Outside, Bond has taken on fabricating the second half of the spaceship. He welds mounting brackets to the frame, then takes it inside to bolt it to the ceiling.
Lie down and get comfortable. Yeah, underneath the cabin.
On the other half of the ship, Joe is running wires for a Cyrex video intercom.
Now Joe is installing the communication system, and I'm just kind of helping it along. This is Joe's baby.
We're trying to get the communications cable pulled through the
Only thing I can really...
craft here. But given this otherworldly material, man, it's a bear to work with.
He's come along as one of our silent heroes this week.
Meanwhile, our renowned metal sculptor, Bruce Gray, is still quietly serving as the cleanup guy. Steve decides it's time to put his artistic talent back to work.
Hey, Bruce, you can make a pretty badass coffee table, can't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you make me a coffee table?
Right now.
Make a nice metal coffee table as fast as you can, or just like make a frame for it and polish the top of it like that.
I'll do that.
Crunch time at the Monster House.
As the clock ticks down, the team appears to be coming in for a successful landing. In record time, Bruce finishes off his coffee table. Inside, Bond is ready to bolt the rest of the spaceship to the ceiling.
Stop right there, go back to the right about 2 inches. Right there. Keep going. Right there.
At just before 9, the job is done. But success suddenly turns into disaster.
So we're right at 3 hours left right now. We're 40 seconds away from the 3-hour mark. It's almost 9 o'clock, and we just had a huge roadblock in our build. Problem is, this aluminum used up all the aluminum we have, and now we're short 2 doors, which means we have an incomplete build no matter what.
Bond has used the last piece of aluminum for the spaceship.
I didn't know they were cutting the sheet.
Yes.
Now Gadget has no metal to make the last 2 fireplace doors.
And so that's basically where we are right now. We are now basically at an incomplete build, and there's no way around it because we can't complete the doors for that. And we already have a door made for the bottom, so you can't do a half door for the bottom anyway. And the top obviously has to be covered. So now we have to come up with a solution. Can we get a sheet that big?
I've got a sheet in my shop.
If you can get that, I don't know if I can get in the shop or I'm going to meet your wife.
My wife's there.
She's at the shop?
Yeah.
So I've got a rack on my little truck. I can tie it up. I can get it back here within an hour.
Just less than 3 hours, we can pull this thing off. We just got to get that piece of aluminum.
It's about an hour and a half.
All right.
Hopefully a little sooner.
All right.
Gadget's shop is 40 miles away. Barring traffic, the trip will take an hour and a half.
Steve, what's going on? We just saw someone drive off at like top speed, like they were missing something or they need to go get
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
there's a really good chance that this building will be finished.
Then what would happen?
And then that remains to be seen. But
At the house, the team hustles to finish what they can. Sean makes it to the shop,
Mrs. Gadget! Mrs. Gadget!
but he still needs to find the aluminum.
This is his shop.
Yeah,
if I could
cool.
find the regular lights, it'd be good.
That's right. I need to get the aluminum.
Have you seen the
to get
four-wheel
back.
drive Beamer?
That's cool. Like I said, I need the aluminum
Okay.
to get going. We got it.
Sean grabs the metal and heads out. As midnight approaches, the team prepares themselves for the worst.
It's not looking good. I'm pretty disappointed. I thought we had it nailed.
It's light. See? So let's get it.
Sean gets back, but there's less than an hour left. Gadget turns on the afterburners and starts fabricating the 2 doors.
If anybody can pull it off, I know that Gadget can.
Kick ass.
With only 5 minutes left, the doors get rushed inside and mounted. The doors go on just as time runs out.
End of build. Please put tools down.
But for the team to win, the doors also need to work.
so. There you go, guys.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for Monster House. With the build complete, Jerry and her crew launch into the decorating phase.
Okay. A little bit stressed out, and hot, but okay.
Our retro future house takes its final journey through time. Inside the coachman, the homeowners get ready for the reveal.
Wardrobe for the baby. I'm all dressed. There's everyone coming out to say hi. Molly, nervous at all?
Nervous.
Like big time nervous?
Yeah.
Think you might puke in Megan?
You guys, it's 3:30. Steve said that he wants us up at the door at 3:30, so let's do it. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
As the family heads for the door, the builders watch from a remote monitor.
Hello.
Who's at the
front door.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna send you the keys so you can come into your new monster house.
Oh my God. No way. It's like a bank teller thing.
All right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Where are we?
Gotta have a spaceship.
Gotta have the spaceship.
We're crashed into her.
This is out of control.
Oh my God. Oh my.
We gotta have a little smoke in there, you know.
Oh. That's great. Awesome.
That's your Cyrex video conferencing system. Let's go into the living room. I've got a couple things to show you.
Okay.
Oh. That is great. And you have a fire on remote control.
Oh my God.
This is your family room. This is your entertainment center. So you've got a 42-inch plasma screen.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. That's from Just-in-Time Communications. Just in case you're thirsty, you know, you want something to drink. How about a beer? Honey, could you send me a beer from the kitchen? What?
This is totally my scene. Dude, look at that.
And but we can't forget about Kansas. We need a bottle for Kansas. All that. And then whenever it's done, that goes right back.
Oh my God.
This is your remote control picture frame. All that. And then whenever it's done, that goes right back.
Oh my God.
And this coffee table was handmade by Bruce, one of our builders. He is a world famous artist with metal, and this is amazing. That's light tape from Electroluminex Lighting. This is your command center for your tube system from the kitchen. Oh, that's cool. And Jerry Schwartz was our decorator this week, and she decorated your new dining room. Of course, this is your control center for your house.
This is what I'm waiting for.
Okay. This desk is all. Bruce also did this. This was hand sanded.
That's amazing.
Also, you know, you're sitting here, you're doing business, you're taking care of some business. You know, you're over here, you're writing checks, you need her to sign something, figure something out, you just fold this thing up, put it right in there.
You don't even have to move in this house. I know, you don't have to do anything.
Awesome.
Hey, honey, could you sign this check for me, please?
Oh my God.
And do me a favor, when you sign that, would you send that to the mailbox? Thanks.
No way.
That is great.
Okay.
Incredible.
Okay, guys. Let's bring our builders in here. Let's say hello to the builders. Come on in.
Pretty cool.
This is why we do it, brother.
Well, it's so amazing. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is incredible.
You put in so much blood, sweat, and tears and spent so much time. We did something that we want to show you our appreciation.
This week has meant so much to us, you wouldn't even know, and we'd never have the opportunity if it wasn't for you guys. So we wanted to get something that would make us remember it until we're 6 feet under. So we got tattoos and monster house.
All right, guys, first of all, just let me start by saying this is one of the toughest builds that I've ever been involved with. And you guys kicked ass and pulled it off and did some great work. I mean, I'm proud to have been a part of it, and you guys deserve a big hand. Give yourselves a big hand. Thank you so much. You know, there's always a little something that we like to give you to show our appreciation for a job well done. You get the 18-volt cordless combo kit from Makita, the dual-side compound miter saw from Makita, and from ESAB, you got the Press-to-Life Precision Master outfit for cutting, soldering, and brazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much again. You guys, this has been great.
We've got a